inches above the ground. Squeeze your core. Regulate your breathing. Now we're just activating our abdominals. Nice little warm up. But if you're squeezing your abdominals, you should definitely feel this exercise. Make sure you preserve your energy because it's going to get more difficult gradually with each exercise. Here we go, last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Nice little warm up. Take 15 seconds to catch our breath. The next exercise we're going to get into is going to be a level up from that one. That's going to be laying leg flutters. So we'll get back into the same position. Hands under our glutes, feet straight out. Keep your legs straight. One leg goes up, and you want to alternate. Now, the more separated your legs are, the more effective you're going to be engaging your abdominals. But if you're just a beginner, you can always just start off with little flutters, just like that. Make sure you're squeezing and engaging your abs with every exercise, every repetition. And don't put your head on the floor. Make sure to give it a full extension. Go at your own pace, of course. The faster you move, the less you're going to... Hang in there. Last 10 seconds. Switch over. Switch your core. Regulate your breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch to the other side. Keep it pumping. If the pump is too hard, you can just hold this position. To a seated position, and back up. Here we go, last 5 seconds. Stay strong. Core, squeeze your entire body, squeeze your shoulders, and breathe. Make sure your hips are not too low or too high up. And you're focused. This is the last move. You really want to make it count. Pick your head up. Squeeze. You want your whole body contracted. Be sure to keep your legs straight as well. 5. Nice and straight for everyone that has your legs out. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4. Up. Remember to regulate your breathing. And always try to push yourself, but definitely go at a pace that you can manage, because eventually the more to get your hips off the ground, but it may make your abdominals a bit more difficult. What's up, Dynix athletes? Today I have a quick and super effective six-pack abs workout that you can do literally from anywhere, even your office or your bedroom, and it will only Yeah. Make sure to get your butt off the ground and then fully extend.
Back of your mat for a ragdoll fold. Give a generous bend to your knees so you fold deep. Together behind you. Sink your hips to your heels, and with your arms out long and relaxed in front of you, rest your forehead on the mat. Observe your breath slow down and deepen as you breathe in and out through your nose. Feel your back, hips, and thighs relax. Slowly rise into a tabletop on your hands and knees. For a cow pose, drop your belly and lift your chin, and take a big breath in. As you breathe out, round your spine and tuck your chin for a cat back. Get your whole spine involved. Inhale to cow pose, belly drops, chest opens, chin lifts. As you exhale, cat back, round your whole spine.
Namaste yogis, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra and today I'm going to take you through a simple 5-minute sequence. These are my top 3 favorite yoga poses for your feet and your ankles. So maybe not an area of the body that you're used to focusing on, but we accumulate a lot. a lot of tension in there. So it's important to help release it, and yoga can help us with this. So my favorite, just all time, number one favorite thing to do for the feet and the ankles is a pose called toe squat. And it's exactly like it sounds. You're coming into a squat directly on your toes. So as you curl your toes under, you're trying to let your hips sit down over the top of your heels. And depending on what kind of footwear you have and how much you spend time on your feet, this might be really intense, or it could be that you don't feel anything in the pose. And if your little toe curls under, you're going to want to grab it and
Hello. 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 It's Mark here. My phone is ready. Oh, you're very quick. You're very fast. Thank you. Yep, I hope I see you soon. See ya.
move it out to the side. And ideally, we'd want to hold this pose maybe up to a minute or even 2 minutes in the context of a yin yoga practice. But if it's too much, feel free to just take a few breaths. Try to really let your hips sit on your heels. If it feels like too much, you can make this easier by keeping your weight forward onto your palms and just kind of easing your way in. So this will work through the bottoms of your toes all the way through the soles of your feet. So a nice, intense, juicy stretch. Take another 2 big breaths here in this pose. As you exhale, imagine any tightness and tension dissipating. And let's go ahead and release, tabletop pose. Maybe tap the feet out. You should feel that little rush of blood. And let's go into pose number 2. This is an ankle stretch. So kind of like the reverse of what we've done, this time with your toes pointing back behind you. Sit on your heels. And this time we're going to rock our weight back and see if we can lift the shins and the knees off the floor. So you'll probably feel this a little bit more through the tops of your feet, tops of the ankles, and maybe a little bit into the shins. And you can play a little bit with the distance that you have your feet. And the more you walk your hands back, the more you can lift your knees, the deeper you're going to feel this one. So I find this one to be harder to hold, so I tend to only hold it for about 5 to 10 breaths or so. But one way that you could make it easier is to put a pillow, a bolster, or a block underneath your knees and shins so that you don't have to really work too much. And careful not to contract here. Think of lifting up through your chest. And let's just take one more moment here. And coming all the way out, should feel that one as well. And now our last pose is downward dog. There are quite a few little micro adjustments you can do in down dog to really target your feet, your toes, and your ankles. So down dog, hands are shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart. And as you lift your hips up and over, keep your feet about hip width distance apart or so. Bend your knees generously and see if you can start to lift your heels off the mat and come onto the balls of the feet. So pushing into the balls of your feet. This is a great way to work the strength of your arches. And now this time, push your heels as far into the floor as you can get them. And sometimes just alternating, doing one leg after the other is easier than trying to do both. You'll get a little bit more leverage in this way. And then walking it out fully between those two, lift your right heel up as high as it can go as you push into your left heel and push into the right toes at the same time, and just alternate. So it's as if you're walking it out. Great way to get rid of any stress or tension in your feet. Think of spreading the toes wide. And stretch it out. Right. And let's bring our knees down on the floor. So I don't know about you, but my feet definitely feel a lot more alive. There's a lot less tension in the soles of the feet as well as in the ankle. So these are simple things that you can do every day, especially if you have a lot of foot cramps or if you suffer from flat feet. This is definitely very helpful.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joelle.
Joel.วิกฤตเงินออมออม
มีสถิติที่ออกมาให้เห็นด้วยครับว่ากรุงเทพเป็นเมืองที่ค่าโดยสารรถไฟฟ้าแพงเป็นอันดับต้นๆของโลกหากไปเทียบกับค่าแรงขั้นต่ำดังนั้นเมื่อพรรคเพื่อไทยได้เป็นรัฐบาลนโยบายรถไฟฟ้า 20 บาทตลอดสายจึงได้รับการจับตามองครับว่ามันจะสามารถทำได้จริงหรือไม่ล่าสุดคุณสุริยะจึงรุ่งเรืองกิจรัฐมนตรีว่าการกระทรวงคมนาคมคนใหม่ยืนยันว่าจะเร่งผลักดันโครงการนำร่องในสายสีแดงและสายสีม่วงก่อนภายใน 3 เดือนแม้ว่าก่อนหน้านี้จะพูดว่าอาจใช้เวลา 2 ปีในการผลักดันรายการคิดเมสเซจได้รวบรวมข้อมูลจากรองศาสตราจารย์ดร.ประมวลสุธีจารุวัฒน์อาจารย์ประจำภาควิชาวิศวกรรมอุตสาหการคณะวิศวกรรมศาสตร์จุฬาลงกรณ์มหาวิทยาลัยมาชวนทำความเข้าใจว่าการผลักดันนโยบายรถไฟฟ้า 20 บาทตลอดสายมีความยากหรือว่าง่ายอย่างไรและมันต้องแลกกับอะไรบ้าง ต้องขอท้าความสักนิดครับว่ากรุงเทพเริ่มสร้างระบบรถไฟฟ้าในช่วงกลางทศวรรษ 2530 ในยุคสมัยที่พลตรีจำลองศรีเมืองเป็นผู้ว่ากทม และสามารถเปิดใช้งานได้จริงเมื่อปี 2542 นั่นแหละ
And today we have a very short practice of the foot and maybe into under. So top of the left foot stays on the mat. And we'll start very slowly to sit back towards that right heel. So you can stop anywhere along the way if the sensation is sufficiently intense for you. Or you might start to walk the hands back, maybe even tenting the hands up onto fingertips, and perhaps then slightly lifting up your right knee off of the mat and really pressing back through that right heel. Looking for a sensation here through the toes, the sole of the foot, and maybe into that Achilles as well. Breathing deeply, you can take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, maybe let it out through the mouth. Reminding ourselves that our feet are going to feel light and free by the end of this. So let's take one final deep breath here. Press the heel back even further. And exhale, you can softly bring that knee back to the mat, back to hands and knees, and maybe just take a circle or two with that right ankle, noticing how it feels. Noticing any differences between the left and right sides. As we come to side 2, tucking the left toes under now, slowly sitting your way back, holding wherever you'd like to hold. Maybe you straighten up slightly through the spine. Maybe you tent those hands and lift slightly through that left knee, pressing the heel back far behind you. And as you take a few deep breaths here on this second side, it is important to remind ourselves that the left and right experience might be very different, certainly as for me. This is all about kind of thanking our feet for all the work they do for us. Final breath here. Make it count. Before returning that left knee to the mat, back to hands and knees, a circle or two through that left ankle, letting that go. And then sit yourself back once more towards that right heel. This time freeing up the left foot to place it roughly alongside your right knee, and the hands will come behind us. Again, you can hold anywhere you'd like if you're already feeling a nice opening sensation through the top of the foot and the front of the ankle. Or you can start to lift that right knee up once more, looking for a little bit more sensation. And it might feel nice here to hold still, or you can experiment with rocking a little bit forwards and back, just an inch or two. We're also swaying that knee a little bit left and right. So feel free to kind of play around with the posture. See what works for you. I always like to close my eyes here just to really tune in. Let's release. Returning to our hands and knees, give that right foot just a little bit of a shake, and we'll switch sides. So sitting back towards your left heel, planting the right foot alongside the left knee, hands come back behind you. Then finding your pose on this second side, perhaps by raising up through that left knee any amount. Chest stays nice and proud, shoulder blades pulled together behind you. You can rock a little side to side or front and back. Let's take one more breath cycle here. And let it go. We'll give that left foot a little shake once more. We'll come to any seated posture that you To appreciate your feet and ankles once more. Thank yourself for giving them this time. If you would like to continue working on this part of the body, I have a short practice of 6 or 7 minutes for the calves that I will link right here. I would love.
One more time. Inhale, cow pose. Then exhale, cat back. Come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands forward 6 more inches, then curl your toes under and reach your hips high and back for downward facing dog. Alternate bending your knees to warm up your legs, and press your chest towards your thighs for a long spine. Separate your feet mat distance and walk your hands to the back of your mat for a ragdoll fold. Give a generous bend to your knees so you fold deeper from your hips. Grab your elbows and hang heavy or sway side to side. The idea here is to release any unnecessary tension, so swaying or bobbing or just breathing as you release and relax is all